children, you invented the gas mask. Before you went to school with white children, you invented the golf tee. Before you went to school with white children, you invented the stoplight. Before you went to school with white children, you was coming up with medications for diseases the white man had no answer for. Before you went to school with white children, you came up with the baby carriage and the self-refrigerating truck. Before you went to school with white children, you were responsible for more than half of all of the relevant inventions in this country. They didn't desegregate you to help you learn. They desegregated you to dumb you down. Why is this relevant to black economics? If we want to turn black economics into an intergenerational revolutionary movement, we got to educate black children ourselves. And some of y'all got it half right. You say, teach our children the laws of money and finance. Teach our children the laws of economy and cash flow. You got it half right. The rest of you got it half right. You say, teach them who they are, where they come from, African culture. You got it half right. But until you marry loyalty to the race, to economic empowerment, we will lose. Because what we got in Georgia and all across America are Negroes in this dichotomous arrangement where some know all there is to know about being black. They know the pyramids, they know the inventors, they know the dates, they know the kingdoms, they know the organizers, the leaders, but they don't know how to make no damn money. And on the flip side, you got a Negro bourgeoisie that know Wall Street. They know the LLC. They know how to get a loan. They know everything about real estate, but they have no cultural commitment or competence. We got to take the self-serving economic wizard and marry that information to the self-loving African nationalists. When we marry the woke to those who know how to make money without having to work, we will be free. Brothers and sisters, when the good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. died, we had 136 black banks in America. 136 black banks in America when Dr. King was assassinated. Why are we down to 16? Did you know we lost 1/3 of black banks between the financial crisis of 2008 and the election of President Trump? They have been hemorrhaging black financial institutions. And you know what's so suspicious about this? I ain't seen Wall Street Journal talk about the genocide of black banks. I ain't seen USA Today talk about the genocide of black banks. I ain't hear the New York Times talk about the genocide of black banks. I don't even know if BET has done a story on the genocide of black banks. They killing off our banks as a prelude to killing us off. So what we got to do, taking a page from Booker T, is we got to build our own credit unions, we got to build our own banks, and we have to build our own financial institutions. If you're waiting on white folks to let you in, if you're waiting on the Caucasian to practice righteousness, you'll be waiting until the end of your life. Do you not understand that white power and white privilege rests on the inequality of black and white financially? See, the reason they killed Dr. King wasn't because he had a dream. He didn't even write the damn speech. They killed Dr. King because Dr. King sitting one day with Reverend Ralph Abernathy in Georgia said, wait a minute, Ralphie. What good is fighting to integrate our people into the restaurant if they can't even afford to pay the bill. Dr. King said we need economic revolution. He said, I'm going to lead a breadbasket campaign, and I'm going to take every American I can find, and we're going to the White House Mall, and nobody's leaving until everybody has a home and a livable wage job. And J. Edgar Hoover said, oh, hell no. He will embarrass the country if he erects this tent city and turn the White House Mall into a homeless shelter. We can't let Martin Luther King come to D.C. So you know what they did? The FBI had 2 black sanitation workers in Memphis deliberately killed and swallowed up by the trash truck because they needed Dr. King to come back to Memphis before he goes to D.C. If Dr. King never comes back to Memphis, he does not die on April the 4th. Dr. King didn't die for desegregation. He died for economic justice. That is the fight. We're not talking enough about economic justice. And you got Joe Biden running around. This crusty, God forgive me. You got Donald Trump running around. Extra crusty. And they trying to get the black vote. I'm telling you, we should not be casting a vote for either party until they come to Black Wall Street Market and answer some questions from Black Georgia. I need you to stop being a cheerleader for the Democratic Party. I need you to stop being a cheerleader for the Republican Party. What we need is a political union of Black Georgia. Tie the votes together, brothers and sisters. Not for Republican and Democrat, but for black people. Only vote as black people. And you tell Joe Biden, if you want these votes of Georgia, this is what we need. I know you can't do it all, but pick 3 things off this list out of 10. Promise me 3! And that's more than we've ever gotten from them in 100 years. Donald Trump, pick 3! And after we finish interrogating those 2 pale men, we send them out, and then we do just like the Democratic National Convention does. We do just like the Republican National Convention does, and we argue, we debate, we discuss, we reason, we deliberate, and we all agree that majority rules. And whoever the most of us say we should put in office, all of us will vote for that one person, even if we don't like them. Because it's not about who wins or loses. It's about black America showing white America and the U.S. government our vote ain't cheap no damn more. You got to show them how to treat you. The reason you ain't had no beneficial economic policy in America in the last 50, 60 years is because the people who you elect to go to Congress, the people you elect to go to your Georgia state legislature, they're not raising questions of economic justice. Because economic justice is the scariest kind of justice the white man ever has to be forced to engage in. You're talking about collapsing the wall of white privilege. The white man don't want to collapse the wall of white privilege. It's the only thing he got that makes him feel secure over you. See, they'll let you into the supermarket and shop. They'll let you go to the movies. You old simp-ass black men, or even let you marry their crusty-ass daughters if you want. And while we on the bunny hop topic, because some of y'all will say, Dr. Umar, I support you, but I think people got a right to love who they want. So from a black economic empowerment perspective, if women live longer than men, which means most of us will be survived by our wives. If you invest every hard-earned dollar you made through your pension, your retirement, your savings, your stocks into a Caucasian, when you die, you just invested in the white community. You just divested from the black community. So for all you colorblind, race-neutral coons in here right now, you can't have it both ways, Georgia. Either you want black economic empowerment, or you want a white woman's blue eyes staring in your face. You can't do both. Because I don't know of a single white widow of a black man who has come back to his neighborhood and built anything for the children in his neighborhood. So don't tell me love is blind, because if love is that blind, why you can't show me an old crusty snow bunny married to a broke-ass black man? Love ain't blind, because you never catch a rich white woman with a poor black man. Love ain't never been blind. And if we want to rebuild ourselves economically, we're going to have to get strict on black men and black women who share their melanin with other communities. You are taking millions from us and giving it to people who already stole enough. I'm not telling you to tell your son to hate white people. I would never do that. I wouldn't tell you to tell your daughter to hate white people. That's not who we are. But we're telling them you got to be loyal to black people. If we're not going to be loyal to ourselves, why the hell are you asking other people to be loyal to you for? And stop using reparations as an excuse to do nothing. I'm sick and tired of Negroes talking about we need reparations in order to fix our problems. Stay with me. We are entitled to it. I believe in it. Pan-Africanism gave birth to the reparation struggle, and we will get it when the time is right. But the last group of Negroes I want to see with any kind of a reparation settlement are you Negroes of the 21st century. Because the American African of the 21st century has been the least productive of every African that was born on American soil. Talk to me. Did you know we owned over 500 hospitals before? We only been here 400 years under British North American rule. We were here longer, but under the white man's foot, it's only been 404 years. In 404 years, we owned and operated 500 black hospitals. You can hardly find one now. What makes you so different as a consumer than any other group? You know what it is? Mexicans spend their money to empower Mexicans. European Jews spend their money to empower European Jews. Arabs spend their money to empower Arabs. Black people spend their money, your post-bill money, on comfort and pleasure. And that is why we lose. Most of our money go to housing. The second largest amount of our money goes to financial services, transportation. Third amount is food. Living, getting around, and eating. Now, living is important. Getting around is important. Eating is important. But do you have to buy a Mercedes-Benz? Did you need the BMW? Did you need what's the other big name car they love? Tesla. Why did you buy the car before you bought the house? And the white banks put more car commercials on TV than house commercials, because they want you to buy the car so they never got to give you the house. They said black people buy 3 times the amount of Mercedes as white folks. Is that some kind of Kwanzaa sale? Somebody help me understand how white people have 10 times the wealth of blacks. They have 10 times, but you buy 3 times as many Mercedes. Let me tell you where that comes from. Because of the pain of racism, oppression, and second-class citizenship, black people since slavery have always dysfunctionally tried to surround ourselves with the symbols of freedom when we could never actually have it. The reason you got the Benz, the reason you got the $500,000 house, the reason you can't walk outside with Gucci and Louis and all them other ones is because those expensive Caucasian names on your body makes you feel like you're living the American dream. And what you fail to realize, my European brand addicted, formerly enslaved Negroes, that you're not living an American dream. You're creating for our great-grandchildren an American nightmare. One thing everybody in here better do next week, if you don't already have it, you better find you an insurance company, and I hope you can find you a black one and take out a life insurance policy for yourself. One of the simplest, quickest, most convenient ways to transfer wealth from you to your children or grandchildren is to make sure there's a couple dollars available after your death. And don't let them talk you into only getting a $20,000 policy. That's what they do with black folks. It might cost about $25,000 to bury you. How about a $25,000 policy for $10? No. I know it only costs $25,000 to bury you, but I want a $250,000 policy. Because when I'm gone, I want to make sure my children have a little bit of money that'll get them through until they get on their feet. You always get a higher policy than what they need to bury you. The point is not paying for your death. The point is making sure you transfer wealth. Number 2, especially my young college students who are here today, you make sure you get you a realtor's license. You can get it while you at Spelman. You ain't got to wait till you done. You can get it at Morehouse. You ain't got to wait until you done. You can get it at Morris Brown. You don't have to wait until you done. Get you a realtor's license. Why? Because most capital and wealth built in this country are built by those who are in real estate. It has been a fact of American history for most of its history. And since real estate is not a renewable resource, real estate is not a renewable resource. Once the land is all bought up, ain't no more coming. See, water is renewable. It's going to come from the sky. Oxygen is renewable. It's going to come from the plants. Them deviled eggs is renewable. Some new cows is coming with some eggs. Or some chickens. Damn, eggs from the cow. I bet you they got that coming too. But land is non-renewable. That means once they buy up all of Georgia, you can't get none. And what's the closest thing to slavery coming back to black people? Black people who don't own no land. Because once you don't own no land, you're automatically at the mercy of those who do. Let me go a step further. Can somebody tell me why Bill Gates is buying up all the arable farmland in America? Why is a computer science wizard buying up farmland? You know why? Because they caught on to the fact black people ain't taking no more COVID shots. They brought on to the fact that black people know America is doing something to try to control our reproduction. And we ain't taking no more pharmaceutical injections. So Bill Gates got this wonderful idea that since black people are on this woke organic food kick, how about we put the germs in the crops? And if you don't believe me, I want you to do some research tonight. There's already countries around the world who have banned Bill Gates' food before it even comes. Because they know he's engineering food to poison African people. And that's why in Black Georgia, and you are Southern enough to do it, y'all have to grow your own food. We need community gardens, and the gardens we got to make them bigger. Listen!